Hey, it's Suinda at Her Clear Path. I'm going to recap my vision for 2023. 6 months old, but I had the urge, so I wanted to go ahead and make this video. I'm also going to recap the first 6 months of 2024. Join me. I want to share my journey. There's so many pieces of my life that have led me to this point. Who are you? Pursue your purpose. First, let me explain how it is that I create my vision or my vision boards for each year. Now, in all fairness, I went all out in 2023 and created an amazing vision board. So I wasn't about to redo that again for 2024 when my goals are pretty much the same. I spent 2023 working towards and making progress towards my goals. Before I created my vision board, I used the Steve Harvey's method of the 300 lists of things you want out of life to kind of launch me into kind of discovering, what do I want to do with my life? We all only get one life. This is it. I want to make the most of mine. So what do I want it to look like? What do I want to have? Both spiritual, material, physical, mental, every aspect of my life. What do I want? And you can Google, look up in any search engine, Google Steve Harvey 300 list, and you can watch the video clip where he explains that this is what he did. Once I had my list of 300 things in 2023 for the new year, I went through that list and I said, how much of this stuff do I really realistically think I can work towards or do in 2023, which was last year? And so I pulled from that and I came up with a list of 125 tasks or things that I could do to help progress, work towards, or achieve some of my 300 things. I took that list of 125 and I put it on a spreadsheet. I love spreadsheets. So this is me kind of showing my nerdy side a little bit. Put them on a spreadsheet, categorize them. I tried to make the categories as broad and wide as I could. I have multiple streams of income and I had goals for each of those streams of income. And so those all have their own category. And then aside from those, I did entrepreneurship, finances, and personal development. There's my spreadsheet, categories, the actual action or task or item, whatever you want to call it, that I wanted to do or try to do in 2023. And at the end of the year, I went through and I said, okay, how many of these did I actually do? How many of these did I make progress on? How many could I not do because it requires something else before I can do it? And then how many did I just not even get to kind of get an idea of, okay, where was I? And I'm very proud to announce or to share that I completed 23 things off of my list, and then I made progress on another 30 things on the list. Of those 125, I actually touched, made progress on, or completed 53. I'm proud of that. I did that. And it makes me feel like my 2023 year was more impactful and more meaningful because it wasn't just another year of life. It was a year that I was literally grinding towards what I want my life to look like. And 2024 has been an amazing year so far. I'm going to go through my list, categorize everything again, but this time for the first 6 months of this year, 2024, and I'll get right back with you. Okay, so I went back through, cleaned up the list a little bit, marked anything that I've already completed in 2024 so far as completed. There were a few things that were permanently redirected, meaning that I'm just not going to do them or they got rolled into something else. In total, I made progress plus completed on 24 things. I think that's pretty damn good for the first 6 months of the year. Let's go through some examples of like what exactly were these things. Regular marketing for my business, setting aside time just for me to work on CEO level tasks, getting better at my SEO with my websites and my Google business pages. Marketing to the wedding venues for one particular of my businesses, building in fitness into my daily routine. In 2024, I started going to the gym at 5 a.m. at least 3 to 4 times a week from January through now. Now, a couple weeks I fell off here and there, but I jumped back on, and I'll tell you, like, that's a big one because my health, like, none of this matters if I'm not healthy. I'm not taking care of my one and only body that I get. So I'm very proud of that one. I've gotten in the habit of putting things on my calendar, blocking off the time. Like if I say I'm going to do something or if I want to accomplish something, even if it's just a commitment I made to myself, I need to be able to trust myself. And if I make commitments or if I say I'm going to do something or I have a goal, I don't just say my goal is to do this. I say I'm going to commit to doing this. And so therefore I block off the time on my calendar. I'm going to do it on this day. And I literally spend that time doing that thing. That's been a game changer for me because I've actually been getting things done that I want to get done because I've been blocking off the time to actually do it. I'm going to go back through the list, for example, the big chunk of things that I didn't touch, didn't attempt yet, and be a little bit more realistic with what do I want to focus these last 6 months on? Because let's face it, 100 things. I mean, how many days left in the year? I don't know. It's more than 100, but these are not tasks that are just like a one and done. It's progress that I want to make. So I'm going to go through, highlight the big things that I really, really want to do before the end of the year. And that will help me kind of set myself up for the next 2 quarters and create some achievable goals, achievable commitments for myself for the remainder of the year. I want 2024 to be another year that I can be proud of, just like 2023 was. If any of this sounds appealing to you, if you're a spreadsheet person, if you have to see things on paper and categorize like I do, I encourage you, do the 300 list. Break it up into categories. The categories I chose may not work for you. You may want to do more categories or less categories, but at least you can have something tangible and you don't need to have a computer or spreadsheets to be able to do it. You can do all of this on paper. One of the things that I have on my goals is to create a workbook that can walk you through creating this 300 list and actually setting up your life as an action plan so that on your last day on this earth, you can say, man, what a ride. This life, I lived it. I sucked every drop of life out of it that I could. And I want to be proud. I don't want to live with regrets. And I want the same for you. So if you've watched for this long, I encourage you, I haven't created my planner just yet, but I might put that as one of the things that by the end of the year, I have to have completed it. There are people out there who can benefit from it as a guide to looking at life differently. I think a lot of the times we look at life as something that's happening to us when we actually have so much power to make life be for us. And that's really what my goal is in doing all of this. And it's just how my brain works, the way I categorize things and use the spreadsheets and pivot tables and all of that. You don't have to use all of that, but if you're like me and you love that kind of stuff, have at it. So anyway, thank you so much for being here and watching. If you've watched this far, these are the things I want you to take away from this video. Whatever you want for you that brings you joy and happiness, pursue that. It doesn't mean you're going to quit your job and go move to an island and never speak to anybody again, but small baby steps, 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day of focusing on something that is in your heart, a desire of your heart. Those 5 minutes every day add up. There's 365 days in a year, 52 weeks in a year. If you spent 10 minutes 52 times, that's 520 minutes that you have spent working towards something. 520 minutes in a year equals a little less than 9 hours. And Kaufman, I don't know who this Kaufman guy is, but there's a 20-hour rule that I Googled. And the 20-hour rule says that a person can learn any new skill by dedicating 20 hours of planned practice time to that skill. And so I'm going to flip that and say you can also create any new habit by working towards it. Let's apply the same rule, 20 hours. So if in 1 year, with just 10 minutes a week at 52 weeks, it would take you 2 years to create a new habit or to incorporate something new into your life, a new skill or what have you. And I was very conservative with those numbers. Surely you can dedicate more than 10 minutes a week to the desires of your heart. So go after that desire, go after that joy. You might impact this world on levels that you've never even dreamed of. I post almost daily on my stories on Instagram. I'm also beginning to post short form here on YouTube. All of my channels are at Her Clear Path. I also have www.herclearpath.com if you're more of a reader and you want to read about my journey. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I'll catch you on the next one.